The new operator is actually so broken that I'm actually making a whole video about this because I need to just talk to you guys about this. So in case you guys don't know, the new operator came out, and I'm sure you guys do know that, he can throw his little canisters at walls and it will freeze them. But I don't know if you guys really know how insane he is. They never told us this. You would think that they would tell us this, like, during the reveal or anything. Like, they just mainly focused on him freezing the wall. Let me read off to you every single thing that this operator can actually do. Because I had to go and find this out myself. I tested it out in a custom game. I should have some of the footage. If I don't, it'll just be the TikTok footage in case I deleted the other footage. But the new operator, he can counter, basically, like, freeze a blitz flash, so blitz will not be able to flash you if he's in the radius of the frozen device. Claymores get frozen, so you can throw it at a claymore or near a claymore, and it will completely freeze the claymore and you can run at someone. Nomads get frozen, so you can throw it near a nomad, freezes it, you can run through it. Dokubi calls get frozen. Quite literally, if you are getting Dokubi called and let's say I were to throw it on the ground, it would then completely cancel out that Dokubi. And even when I get out of the frozen part, it's canceled. It doesn't come back on. It like freezes the phone. You can counter Ash charges. So if Ash were to shoot it into the frozen area, it would then not go off until it disappears. As well as if Ash were to shoot it at a wall and I were to freeze it, it will completely freeze the Ash charge until the Tubarao gadget disappears. And this would be good too, because for example, if they shoot an Ash charge, I freeze it, Bandit picks up his bandits, then it unfreezes, the Ash goes off, or the Cade goes off, whatever it is, it picks up the Cade, and then you could throw it back down or place it back down. Then we have Sens gadget. If Sens rolls her Sens gadget, it will literally freeze the Sens gadget from wherever it is in the frozen area, even after it's been deployed. Capital bolts, only if they're shot into the frozen area. If they're shot and then you freeze it, it won't do anything, which doesn't make any sense to me. Grimbees, only if they are shot into the frozen area, then they won't go out. But if they're already out, you can't freeze them, which that one doesn't make sense to me either. You would think you could freeze them. Yang Candelas, which he throws them, if they're rolling on the ground, you can quite literally freeze them. They won't go off, and then you can just look at it and shoot it. And on top of that, if you, let's say there was like a Ying in this doorway right here, if I were to take this and throw this at this Ying, and then the Ying walks in this and is throwing her Candela, she can now be flashed by her own Candelas because her visor goes down. And on top of that, you can also do that to Warden. So if you are a Warden player and you know, are getting flashed, make sure you do not go into the frozen device, because if you walk into the frozen device, it will actually freeze your goggles to where you cannot see either, and you can get flashed as well. You can freeze gridlocks when they're deploying, so if you were to see a gridlock on the floor deploying, you throw the gadget at it, it will stop it from still deploying until, of course, it runs out. He can counter fuse, so whether it's before or after, you can counter in both ways. He can counter glads, so for example, if there was a glads, like let's say like on this doorway, and I were to throw this on the ground right here like this, and I'm standing in this, the glass won't be able to see my body because I won't be thermal, right? So he'll probably be able to see you a little bit, but you won't be yellow because you're not thermal because you're cold, obviously, which is a pretty cool feature. I like that one. Any drones of any kind that you can think of, he can counter. So if there's a ram drone above you, you freeze it, it will stop the ram drone. If there's a Flores drone coming at your shield, you can then freeze it, and then he'll stop the Flores drone. If there's a Brava drone, a Twitch drone, whatever it may be, it will freeze that drone, which is insane. Especially the ram one and the Flores one's nuts. And then, of course, his main ability, he can freeze the breach, which we all knew. And that one is already crazy. Like, that's already crazy. Like, if everything I haven't told you, like, if that wasn't even in the game and it was just the breach, it's crazy because if I were to, let's say, throw this at the wall, my bandit can come over, pick up his bandits, place them back down, and then the base is gone. So you can quite literally stop them from getting the wall completely. Because he has, what, 3 or 4 of these? And a Thatcher only has 2 Thatchers? So it's like, even if he does that, it's like, you are able to make it to where they can't get the wall. And with all of this, he has a DMR with a 1.5 with a 67 damage per shot, so you can 2-shot people, literally, like, insane. And you have a C4. Bro, this character is the most broken defender by far. By far. I think to ever release in terms of defense. And I stress this not just because of the walls, but because, bro, I could just counter everything. I am a Thatcher on defense. If there is a Claymore here, all I gotta do is freeze it, and then I can run out people and just smoke them. Or on runouts, too, as well. If there's a Claymore on a runout, I can freeze it. And on top of that, right, it's all about the blast radius, too. So I'm sure I've had clips on the screen already, but basically, like, if there was a Claymore right here, and I don't have to know it's there, or if there's an air jab right there, but I hear it, I don't know where it is, I don't have to throw it right here to hit it right there. I can throw it, like, right here, or up here, and as long as it's in that gigantic radius, it will freeze the Nomad or Claymore. So this is what brings me into the next topic of this video. Is this operator a roamer or is he an anchor? Now, I've made a TikTok about this as well, and I truly think he can be both. A lot of people were saying, oh, he's just an anchor. What do you mean? He's supposed to get the main wall. But, like, think about this. Let's say we are defending this top floor, right? And I decide I'm going to roam. I think he can be a good roamer because you have a DMR. So you can take long-range gunfights. You have a DMR with a 1.5, okay? On top of that, you have a C4. So you can C4 from below, right? And on top of that, if they were to go for the wall, you can still freeze it, which will then just freeze the wall from below. So you could still do everything from below and or above, because that will still freeze the wall. And you can still cause, like, soft destruction as well from below if you're roaming. So it's like, in my opinion, he's an absolutely insane roamer as well. Like I said, 100%, we already know he's amazing to have on site. Because you can freeze when people enter in, you can freeze the wall, you can freeze all that, but you can do the same thing on the roam, right? I was talking to some Pro League players about it, right? And they were basically telling me, like, imagine the bomb site right here was downstairs, right? And you're playing up here. If you're roaming, you can stop people from getting in, because if I were to throw my canister right here, and I'm playing right here, there's only 2 doorways for them to come into this one or this one, you know, without me knowing or hearing them blow something up. So I can, like, pretty much freeze off this doorway. They can't walk through it, and if they do, one, their reticle is going to go away, because that's another thing, their reticle goes away sometimes. I think it's only on one-time scopes, I don't know why, that's what I heard. But either way, then they're slowed down, I hear them, you know, in it, so I can swing, all while being able to lock down different shit while I'm roaming. So it just makes them much harder to clear out when they're playing this operator. I made a whole tweet about this, it actually did pretty good on Twitter, and it got, you know, some traction, and some people are even going as far as saying, one of the casters basically said that, like, this operator should be quarantined for the invitational. Basically what that means is it should not be allowed to be played at the invitational until they wind up tweaking the operator. What do I think they're even going to do this operator? I think, one, they're going to make the radius smaller, if I were to assume, because, like, the radius of this is very large. So I think they're going to make it smaller, and they also might take away some of the freezing abilities externally, as well as maybe take away one of his canisters. I don't know what else they're going to do, but this operator is actually broken. Like, if you guys are not picking this operator, you're trolling, because they literally can't ban this operator. Like, you can't ban him right now for the whole season. So take this operator and play like a fucking maniac with him. Run with him. Get aggressive with him. Freeze shit. Flank people. Just, if you're not picking this operator 100% of the time, you're trolling, because you could bring an MPX too if you want to bring an MPX. I feel like the DMR is just such a much better weapon to bring, because this thing is a 2-shot kill on most people. It's 134 damage for 2 shots, which is gonna kill just about everyone. I think it's a 2-shot kill no matter what. Yeah, that's insane. That is absurd. This gun is insane. Fast fire rate. Like, just hit your shots with this thing and you're gonna be melting. But let me know, what do you guys think? Do you guys play this operator at all? Have you guys been playing him? If you haven't, I'd advise that you go and get him, or get the battle pass. Get him while you can. Take him while you can. And I have a bunch of videos on my TikTok if you want to check it out to see some tips for him.